Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to talk about why money. Today we are going to talk about why many medical students become atheists before they graduate. So stick around and let's get to the video. Okay, for some of you, you may be surprised about a topic like, oh, maybe your school there's no atheists, your school like everybody's spiritual, your school that. But anyways, I'm still going to talk about this because everybody's experience is different, and just hear it and be you may learn one or two, or you may pick one or two. So let's get to the video. I remember when I got admission into, before I even got admission, when I was in secondary school, everybody be like, oh, hold your God tight when I go to university. A lot of people backslide. I go to university, my senior colleagues now told me, when that was one of the 100 level, oh, hold God tight in 100 level. When you enter preclinicals and clinicals, a lot of people become atheists, etc. There's nothing I did not hear. But when I now came into the medical school and came into the 200 level, I saw that most of my senior colleagues graduated as Christians in quotes, while even in school, even the people that are not yet graduating, some of them are already atheists. So like it's just a mixture of everything. But I'm going to talk about what I've seen and based on what I've observed so far. So now, first of all, that word Christian, what does it mean? They say Christians, Christ, like atheists are people that don't believe in God. Yeah. So first of all, I think my first reason, and with my based on my observation, the first reason I'll say is that most of those people were not even Christians in the first place. Okay, before we even go on, this was research I got in my birthday. My birthday was 5th July. I got this too. This was for my mom. Well, I just left the necklace. That one will come later. But the first thing I'll say is that most of them were not even Christians in the first place. Most of them were just church-goers. So those people that started calling them Christians, there are people that behaved like Christ. There are people that their lives like was like Christ, so they started calling them Christ like Christians. But if you look at those people that were like, oh, they are now atheists, ask yourself, were they even Christians in the first place? And then there's a whole huge difference between churchgoers and Christians. Yeah, somebody can believe in the existence of God but not be Christian. Do you understand? Now, remember when you were making that joke and you're like, oh, myself, I'm not even Jesus Christ, so don't expect me to do some certain things, etc. But if you remember very, very well, Christians are people that their lives are Christ like. So somebody calling you a Christian in the first place, the person is accusing you just the same way somebody will call you a thief and you are not a thief. Same way someone should not call you a Christian if you are not a Christian, because you can believe in God but not be a Christian. You understand? So me, honestly, I feel like the people that later became atheists, they were not even Christians in the first place. They were probably just churchgoers who believed in the existence of God. But because of some circumstances, they know God still exists, but they choose to believe that there is no God. Do you understand? And then even the people, there are some people that don't even become atheists, but they were churchgoers, but over time they stopped going to church, they stopped doing religious things, they were just neutral, and their lifestyle became something else. Those people, they were just unraveling and exploring their lives because they were not Christians in the first place. Do you understand? They were not Christians, they were churchgoers, but you understand? So now, with what I've seen so far, most of my senior colleagues that are Christians, most of them have been Christians since I've known them. Maybe there are some times that yes, their spiritual life is like the ECG graph, but there are times that they go up, sometimes they come down. So I don't know. It's somebody that is a Christian, the chances of them still backsliding is still there, or become an atheist is still there. But what are the chances? I just feel like it's so slim. I know that there are times the person's life where the person will not pray, person will not do anything, but I feel like person will not, like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? And I hope that I feel like you also get my point. You can agree with me. If you can agree with me, just help me type down I agree with you so that we'll continue the conversation. That's the first thing. So I feel like first of all, they were not Christians, they were just churchgoers who believed in the existence of God. But because of some circumstances and some situations, they chose to feed themselves with the fact that there's no God, while they know there's God, but they choose not to. You understand what I'm saying? That's the first thing I'll say. And the second thing I'll say, that I'll say is the reason why most medical students later become atheists is that they were Christians first of all to receive from God. There was no relationship. Do you understand? Just imagine somebody that is your extended family. The person does not relate to your family. One day, the person just comes to your father's DM. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, can you send me 50 million? Sir, can you send me 10 million? Sir, 5 million. This person has been in meetings with your father. Oh. The person will go for extended family meeting, but the person will choose never to come to greet your father, never to say hi or hello to your father's children. That's the people. Never to cross paths with your father, but because one day the person is in a very, very tight situation, the person now call your father. The person has proposed in his heart not to give respect or give honor to your father, but because the person is in need, the person now comes to your father. Your father will decide to be nice to the person out of his goodwill, but me and you, we know that the person is never asking for 5, the person is asking for 15 million because maybe the person needs treatment. So that's that kind of thing. That's the same way we treat God. We are all children of God, and you yourself, you know that you're a child of God, but you have never get to have any relationship with God though. But when a tight situation comes, you now need God's help. God is merciful and kind. He will surely help you. But there are sometimes you self you do not actually read. I told you, we already know how men's school is not a one-man squad. You not really read, you not do your part where then all of a sudden you are expecting God to be a magician and make you to pass. And then when you know now pass, you now say that, oh, there's no God, he did not listen to me, but check out there. You self you know try. You self you know try for yourself, you know read where, you know the thing where, and it's just unfair how we treat God. So that's another reason why most people become atheists. But all in all, my single advice is that there's fullness in God. First Corinthians chapter 1 verse 19. What does it say? First Corinthians chapter 1 verse 19 says that, for it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell, in all, and in everything. Medical school is bulky, but if you have God on your side, you are good to go. And I don't want you coming to God or trying to have a relationship with God, because you want to pass your medical school in such a way that when things don't go well for you in medical school, you now start blaming God. Oh, there's no God. You know that kind of thing. But all in all, there's fullness in God, and with God, there's nothing that is not possible. I know that sometimes we read and still will not pass. I don't think I'm the best spot to talk about that, because like I said, I've never written any professional exams. So there are some things I am not going to comment on purpose. But all in all, just read well, study well, and play your part well, so that when a situation comes where you have to write your exam and then you don't pass, you now be blaming God. Don't worry. If you know that sometimes medical school cannot be about reading well, try to relate with people, because some of the people, you don't know, they may have something that will help you to pass. Who knows? But all in all, make sure you put God first in your medical school, and don't just serve him because you want to pass your exams. Serve him because you love him. Serve him because he died for you. Just aside that, I don't know if there are any other more, but maybe you know better. You can also let me know in the comment section. Yeah, it's just also nice talking to you today again. And yeah, bye. Have a lovely day.